Alright, so yesterday I posted the BTO on Plug, which I grabbed that date mainly just because I like the OI, but either way I got the at the money, which was basically ITM by the time we were closing yesterday, and then we alerted the TP and just showed the gains, but um, basically the only thing I looked at on the smaller time frame going into the next day was watching the extended hours level here because that was yesterday's close. That's a very good pivot point I like to watch. So it's a really good tight stop loss point slash control spot. And then the 21, which is on the bigger time frame chart, which I'll show now. But I wanted to show you from the beginning because I did grab some like weird levels. But I basically grabbed this shoulder over here, that one right there, and then I just kind of kept going. I saw price was kind of in this general area, so I was just trying to get all of the main kind of shoulders. So I was kind of focused on that one and that one, and it kind of gives me those levels there. And then I was marking this shoulder here. My big thing is marking the tops of buyers, and then I'll go to the 4 hour if I can, and I'll go readjust them a lot heavier. But it gives me a really good starting point at least. So I see the prices in between here. A cheat method, of course, is going from the top of that one and then going to the top of that one and getting the middle of that range. It's a really good cheat method of just getting one really good level. But you can readjust the levels and make them more accurate. I don't think I did that when I did the post initially, but just a little better to do. And again, when you're doing it, mark the tops of the buyers. Kind of ignore the middle buyers and all that. And of course, your control point can still be there and your GP and all that good stuff. But we can go to the daily, and we see we have a rising volume push over the 9 EMA and a really good level at about 21 with a target of trying to go towards about 23, which I think if I add the 21 EMA, because I only like the 9, the 21, the 50, 100, and 200, but I really only look at the 9 and the 21, and I really only look at the 9 all the time. The 21 I'll turn on just here and there. But basically, yeah, it's right there. So the next level is 23 as well as the 21 EMA. It's a really good starting target after you go above the 9 EMA. So if you ever have one day push up all the way and it finishes here, but not goes above it, it's better to just wait for some reset candles or for one reset candle before seeing a next pop over. But in this case, we got pretty good room between it. So entered that end of day yesterday. Of course, you can always enter as it's breaking, the particular level. So if this was the level you were intending to watch, you could always enter this in the middle of the day as well. You don't have to wait for the end of the day because you're kind of missing out on some of the gains there. I entered like here, and then we got the end of day pop, so I really only got to about here, from here to here. Entering into the move, you could have gotten from here, which it had an 80% entry as well, catching on the 9. Then you would have had a lot more movement than me, and you probably even would have been a little more confident because you would have had way more room. But back to the bigger time frame. But basically, that's why we went for an overnight swing. But going into how to hold plays longer, um, we'd like to look for those reset candles going down to those control points of that important candle. So since this is the important candle that got me on the chart, I would mark 50% of that, and I would like to see, all right, where is that going towards? If it ends up holding this or the GP, then it's a really, really good sign, or even the starting point, to give us that base. And then when we have that base, the double bottom or the low to higher low double bottom, then it gives you more confidence over the 9 and 21 EMA because that 21 EMA is catching up more now instead of this time around. So if this gaps up, it has really, really good chance of continuing up. But if you start getting reset candles, I would definitely wait till about here, and then you can extend how long you can hold that play. But this strategy is really, really good for overnight swings. Also, really big thing I like to look for is gaps. You can see there's a tiny gap there. Gaps make it to where this candle doesn't have to have rising volume a lot more of the time than you would think. So if you don't have rising volume but you have a decent gap, it's still a decent signal to see over the 9 EMA and a particular level from that left side or from your price history. But overall, that's just a mainly good overnight swing strategy, and then you can use it to find plays and see moves go farther, like on what was the one I did? Was it Veil? It was Veil. So you can see Veil was kind of just sitting on top of this level here. And then it kept making higher lows, and then it kind of gave us this curl action. This gap right here, this gap right here gave me more confidence to get in, even though it didn't have rising volume. It had lowering volume, but since it gapped up, it kind of gave me more confidence. Next day, we were in the green side of that play. Another reset candle finished over 50% of that candle. Could have gone in again or held position even. And we got another push with the gap up. It's a bullish kicker. It's one of the most bullish signals you ever get, and you know it's a kicker because this day ended here, this day closed here, and the next day and started entirely over that candle. So that's a bullish kicker, got kicked up, and then another gap up. At this point, you should be looking at this as overbought because it's just continuously gapping to resistance. So good time to just chill out, let the 9 EMA and 21 EMA catch up. But hopefully this video helps you out. I have to upload this on YouTube because it's going to be a little long to just send to you. But hopefully this helps you out. And if you want any more breakdowns or you want to go over any more, please let me know. I'd love to send some more over.